Police are on the scene here at Brick Memorial High School, where a school shooting was reported just a few hours ago. Behind me is the Sawmill Parkway, and I'm right here at the Farragut Avenue entrance, and it is completely flooded. It's reaching almost 40 degrees outside, and the sun is shining high, but it might just be the calm before the storm. And the decision is in for the infamous getaway driver of the Brinks robbery, Judith Clark, and she will remain in state prison, at least for now. It's one of the busiest days of the year for florists. Shops all over the Hudson Valley are going to be packed with people looking for last-minute gifts. But if you think that's crazy, you have no idea what goes on behind the scenes the night before. If you're like me and wait until the last possible second to get your holiday shopping done, don't worry, the Westchester Mall has our backs. It's a show that might just be your dirty little secret. I know it's mine. I'm talking about MTV's Jersey Shore, of course, and we're right here in Seaside Heights getting an exclusive tour of the house where all the drama unfolds. 19 Stratford Place is a subsidized housing complex. It sits next to buildings that have been abandoned for years, and it looks just like its neighbors. The violations in this building go on and on.
I don't have no heat, I don't have no hot water. That's insane.
You got mold, you have broken, like I said, the elevator been broken since May. No heat, closet doors, I make a work order, they don't do it.
There are no smoke detectors or window guards. The security cameras do not work, and with the elevator out, these are the stairs that the residents have to use.
So you got old people here, you got pregnant people walking to the 5th floor every day. You know, one lady went through her whole pregnancy with the elevator out.
And then there are mice everywhere.
You could hear them shuffling through the wall throughout the night, and it sounds like they're huge. I got 2 cats, and they don't even mess with them.
On Monday, the city posted these signs, giving residents who have lived here for years only 2 days to completely vacate the building. But today, on the day that all 55 units need to be emptied, the building owner, who bought the building only 2 weeks ago, had an emergency special boy from her hometown, Michael. He'd become a freedom fighter. He heard through the grapevine that Kate survived and knew she would come to Germany.
We're going to work with the city and work with HUD, the Department of Housing and Urban Development, to permanently relocate the folks that are there. And we're going to gut the building and rehab it.
But residents still do not know where they'll go.
I would probably think that we'll have a plan in the next couple of weeks as to when everybody will leave.
In Newark, Emily Young, New Jersey News Network. The year is 1944, and World War II is raging as the Nazis sweep across Europe. Meanwhile, 16-year-old Kate Bernath was growing up in Cisco, Hungary. Kate was a normal girl. She went out, she dated, and was being pursued by a special boy from town. In the blink of an eye, all that changed. German troops invaded her quiet town and put her family in a cattle car and sent them off to Auschwitz.
After 3 days and night in that cattle car, locked up from the outside, and no water, no food, no toilets, we arrived to Auschwitz. They pushed us out from the cars, cattle cars, and made us line up, men and women separate lines. At the head of the line stood Mengele, the famous selector, whose nickname was the Angel of Death, and with his finger showed everybody which way to go. He asked my mother how old she was, and she was 40 years old, and he sent her to the other side.
Kate went the other way, and she never saw her mother again. For a year, Kate was moved to several different working camps, even given a number tattooed on her arm, until one day, while she was on a cattle car, all the guards suddenly disappeared. The Swiss Red Cross showed up to take the injured and told them the Americans were coming to liberate them in the morning.
And so they did come with their cigarettes and chocolate and all that. We were freed.
Finally free, but with no money and no idea if her family was alive, she did the only thing she could think of.
We went back to Hungary, and I found one of my brothers who was alive.
But there was nothing really left for her. No home to come home to. So she decided to go back to Germany. Meanwhile, that special boy from her hometown, Michael, he'd become a freedom fighter. He heard through the grapevine that Kate survived and knew she would come to Germany.
He was go and wait for the trains to come in from Budapest and see if maybe I was coming too.
Every day he waited for her. They finally married, had their first child in a displacement camp in Germany, and then immigrated to the States in 1949 with just $10 in their pocket. The pair one day opened up a successful luncheonette together, and then another one. They were open for more than 50 years and married for 72 years. A life she never believed would be hers.
When I was there, deep down, I knew they're gonna kill us. They're not gonna let us live to tell the story. But we didn't give up. You don't give up. It's an instinct. You wanna live.
Her beloved Michael passed away 3 years ago, but Kate is still strong and continues to share their story.
Well, I feel it's my duty to tell what happened because people say it wasn't true. It never happened.
At 92 years old, she's proof that it did happen. Emily Young, New Jersey News Network. A lesson that as a community, they can get through anything together. In Katona, Emily Young, FiOS 1 News. We put in a call to the New Jersey Department of Fishing and Game to see if they have done any rabies checks because they are the department that would do so, and our calls went unanswered. In Mahwah, Emily Young, New Jersey News Network.